Hello, everyone, and welcome to Symphony Banda podcast. My name is Shirley Korman, and I'm a host of this podcast. In each episode, you will hear from the seriously smart and interesting symphonians about their projects, successes, and of course, challenges. Today, we are joined by remarkable Andrii Bandrovskyy, who brings 17 years of experience into IT, with the last two spent contributing his experience at Symphony Solutions. He's not just managing, he's orchestrating the symphony as the service delivery manager, not for one, but for 4 teams. So grab your headphones, sit back, and get ready to explore project management secrets and discover what goes on behind the scenes of the C-Space project in our upcoming Banda podcast with Andrii. Hello, Andrii. It's very nice to see you on our podcast. I'm glad you have joined us. How are you
Hi,
today?
Shirley. Thank you for inviting me and this great announcement. One of the
Great
best, I think.
announcement for a great person, you know. And
Yeah.
I'd like also to mention that you will be our very first guest with whom we will speak
Really? Wow.
some particular projects. So going behind the scenes of particular projects. Previous guests
Okay.
were speaking about some departments, and today we're going deep into some particular projects. And I'm very, very, very looking forward for it, as many of our listeners. So
Okay.
let's
Let's do
dive
it.
deep. Yeah. Okay. So for the very beginning, let's give our listeners a picture. Yes. Before diving deep into C-Space projects, let's give our listeners a view about what's the main goal of the C-Space project.
Okay. Actually, C-Space, it's a metaphor. Yeah, it's connection to everything. If you're talking about like our client, and actually they have a lot of different clients from all over the world. Probably if you name any famous brand, it will definitely be their client, like Jaguar, McDonald's, Nike, New Balance, Google, Meta, everyone. So our client is top-notch in making surveys. They are collecting users' feedback about the products of these different brands and making some analytics based on this and deliver this analytic and help different brands to develop their brand strategy.
Cool.
Or maybe they need to improve some product on market in case clients' feedback is negative. So that also works.
That's cool. I didn't expect it. It's so bright in the world. Yes, this client, it's very cool. And speaking about the client, as it's very famous, I would say, in the world of market. Yes. Are there any interesting stories or maybe takeaways from cooperating with this particular client?
I will say there are some, but probably they are under NDA. Yeah, so I could not
Let's keep them in.
so widely talk about them. But from us, like the main, I will say, success story is that they plan to sunset one of their products. And we clean and polish it so nicely that they decided to prolongate its life. And now we are developing this product as a new solution. And for our team, this is a great success because this product is like 17 years old or 20 years old, if I remember correctly. Yeah, but it's still functioning, and now we have approval for complete redesign and development of like new features and so on. So that's one probably, and maybe the second one is like they had mobile application. They have actually mobile application, and at the beginning of our cooperation, it was like something in the background, some noise. Okay, we have mobile application, and people are complaining about them and so on. But now they define this as the top priority for their business to engage. I will say young people who are with mobile phones. Actually, they don't use computers for surveys. So we are targeting to improve this application and engage a lot of young people on their side, and they actually it should be like 20 or 30% of their business. So it's a lot.
So from these two stories, I would sum up that some unexpected things becomes very important and successful. It's a pretty good line with this client, I would say.
Yeah.
I hope it will keep going and lead to your team with your project to many more successes with this client.
Yeah.
And
Fingers crossed.
yeah, definitely. With such a service delivery manager, why not? It's definitely a success. And speaking also about successes and managing the teams, we know that Agile is a very big deal in your world, Andrii. And how do Agile principles play a role in managing the team at C-Space, especially with the team growing so fast as your team at C-Space project?
I have really a huge luxury to hire senior people, and the main point for me was to be agile enough and give these people a freedom to make solution, because I could not like control everything. So I am more served to these people and help them to achieve general goals. And probably the other example I will say is to learn how to be agile from our client, because they don't have a clear end-to-end vision how to develop the product. They give us tasks or provide the problem, we resolve this, and they go to market, test it, get feedback from market, and adapt their product to this feedback. And that's sometimes people complain about this because it's required from us to be agile and to adapt to everything. But that's how business works right now. And probably this agility we need to develop in ourselves according to our situation and country as well.
Definitely.
We have to adapt all the time.
Definitely. And can you, like, just a quick question, can you just imagine, will it be tougher without this agile methodology and all this principle to work with such a team, with such a client, yeah, with all these changes in nowadays world? Can you just imagine it, or it's something also very tough for you now?
Don't know what to say because actually I am doing agile projects for like 10 years maybe, and
you cannot remember how it was without it, yes?
Yeah, because I used to work on waterfall project, and it was it required a lot of effort and they cost a lot. And now this agile approach help us to be like more valuable on the market. And actually our client admire it because they say you're expensive, but the service you're providing and the way you are working with our requirements is really amazing, and they happy with this agile approach that we can adapt backlog, we can adjust team capacity, we can provide some extra services they need on demand and so on. So that's it.
That's cool. That's really great. You know, that seeing people, so I know how it works in our company, and I see how people bring more performance and better performance with this agilability, yes, in the project, in the just support teams. Yeah, it's a huge benefit, and I think it's for the best that we don't know anymore how to work without it, because it definitely made our lives and work more enjoyable and easier, I would say.
Not always easier.
Yes.
It's more challenging, I will say, but definitely more fun.
Yes, yeah, yes, you're right over here. And you started speaking about challenges, and that was actually my next question, because you know, managing the C space as any other project must have its tough moments. Can you tell about some challenges you have faced as service delivery manager? Any lessons learned along the way, maybe?
Actually, the start of the project was very tough because in the beginning we won 2 proposals, and I already set up first project, and I need to start with this one. And I have to hire like almost 30 people. in as short as possible way, and it took me like May and I will say June, 2 months to staff more than 20 people.
Right.
And later on, 2 more months to staff last 10, I will say. And this was really amazing. And I probably should thank you as well. Because you conducted a cultural interview and we filtered like 20 to 30% of people based on cultural interview. So that's quite important like criteria for our company. And so it was I will say, it was the biggest challenge on this project, because right now the only thing I need is like orchestrate all this stuff, but to create account from scratch for 30 people, it's really challenging and demanding.
Yeah, I cannot imagine. And thank you for appreciating, for also being a part of this project. But as far as I know from the numbers, sometimes in a quarter we hire a half of this number that you have mentioned, yes, that you needed for your project. And I know how much effort and time there should be spent on onboarding these people, sharing the responsibilities, the process, how it works. Yes, so
Yeah.
it's a very big deal, and I cannot imagine how you managed it, but I'm sure you nailed it, and it was a great experience. And what was your lesson learned from it, like staying agile, or what was your best lesson to learn how to manage and cope with this task as hiring 30 people in such a short time?
Be agile and trust your feelings.
Okay.
Because sometimes there are some unconscious thing that is hard to explain, but if I see that person is not matching the project, I should not hire it, even if I cannot explain this. But I have feeling and that's enough. I'm maybe it's a little bit stubborn, I'll say, but based on my experience, I can make such decisions.
Yeah, definitely. I think with 17 years in this field, you have this very strong feeling who you can trust for 100%. Yeah, something that you have gained with time. That's great. So, we know how great you are as a manager, how you are managing your team, what was the challenges you have dealt with. And of course, I would like to ask you some question about your personal life. And we know that volunteering and donating have become a crucial part of every Ukrainian's life. And we know that it plays a very big and significant part in your personal life. And I would like to ask you about how it started and how does it play a role in your life during these challenging times nowadays?
Thank you for this question. It's it's actually one of the biggest challenge, because I'm volunteering since 2014 and with some break, but and for last 2 years it's extremely intensive, I will say. I did not calculate it, by the way, how much I collected in past year, but in 2022 it was like 10 million hryvnias, and but right now I'm switching from different scopes, radio sets and other stuff, guns, to FPV drones. And unfortunately, I am a little bit sick, still sick. I could not say that I'm healthy right now, but I have to provide like 30 FPV drones to some groups of soldiers. Yeah. So, and I think it's a duty of every Ukrainian right now, and everyone who want to help us to donate, collect, do something, not to stay at home and say it's not my deal, because it's our country and it's everyone's deal.
Definitely. I also agree on that, saying that every and each small amount counts and makes difference, and we have to do it. and there is no like, somebody say, oh, like 10 hryvnias, it's nothing. No, it makes a big difference, and altogether we will make this difference and hear our victory. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
because
yeah, go ahead, please.
sometimes even the small donation matter, because if I had like 100 donation for 100 hryvnias, it's 10,000 hryvnias, and it's already matter. And what is 100 hryvnias? It's even not 1 kilogram of meat or something. So that's actually the point, and just do it. Don't stop.
Yes, it's very strong saying about just do it. Even though I know that there is like tough times, where we are sometimes desperate. Yes, there is no such a mood. Yeah, you feel like you're desperating. And does volunteering motivates you in these times, or does sometimes happens that your work motivates you to volunteer and vice versa? Does it work for you like in this scheme?
I will say it's second work for me, because I have my duties in a company, but also it's I will say I consider it as a duty, because a lot of friends of mine, they are fighting on front line, and I could not stop just because I'm tired or something, because they are still fighting. They are fighting for 2 years, and I have to continue. It's more duty. I could not say that it motivates me right now. I have to do it.
Yeah.
Because previously I worked with, for example, charity foundation and with orphanages, and that's motivate me because I see that my work changed the life of these people. But here I try to save as much life as I can. So that's probably the only motivator for me.
That's a great one, I would say. Yeah. I wish many people, I hope, and I do believe that many people think the same as you do. Yes, and let's stop on this, that let's just do it. A small changes, a small donation also matters. And this brings us near to the victory. Yeah, that's
definitely.
actually a great cover and sum up for our podcast today. It was pretty inspiring with all the quotes and saying you were sharing with us today. Thank you for bringing us behind the scene of sea space projects. Now we definitely know more how it works, what was the challenges, and how you deal with it with your team. Yes, and you on the top of your team. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing this with us, and I hope you also enjoyed this time on our Banda podcast.
Yeah, thank you, Shirley. It was great. Like maybe even like sum up all this activity for almost 10 months.
Yeah,
So thank you for that.
Sure. I was very glad to see you as our guest today, Andrii.
Thank you.
Thank
See
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.